Hello everybody, and just before we get to today's video, which I'm very excited for and I hope you are too, we've decided we're going to hold a little giveaway. So what do you need to do to be in with a chance to win? Give this video a like, make sure that you are subscribed, and leave a comment down below telling us what your favourite incarnation of Transformers comic books have been to this point. The competition will run from today, the 17th, all the way up to midnight next Thursday, with the winner being announced on Friday's video. One lucky winner will be picked at random, and they will receive everything that you need to get caught up to date with the Energon universe. So you will win a copy of the trade paperback of Void Rivals, as well as the recently released Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson. So again, give this video a like, give us a subscribe. If you are a member of our Patreon as a paid tiered member, don't worry, you are already in the running. Hope you all enjoy. Best of luck to everybody who participates. Tune in next week to find out who wins, and on with the video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the Skybound Transformers series. Just want to generally talk about the first 6 issues and why I think this is one of the best revitalizations of the franchise in a long, long time. Daniel Warren Johnson has done something different with the Transformers. There is something unique about this version and this take on this classic mythology that I am really enjoying. The first 6 issues is the traditional arrival. It's the Autobots meeting the humans for the first time. There is the chase for Energon, there is the restoring of their people and their world, and there is the conflict between the Autobots and the Decepticons. Everything you have seen a million times before. Where Daniel Warren Johnson succeeds in his opening salvo with Transformers is that he has created stakes, repercussions, and given us some insight into what it must be like to be at war. Transformers is inherently good guys versus bad guys. That's what it's always been. Autobots versus Decepticons, Maximals versus Predacons. Your mileage may vary, but that is fundamentally what it is. Now, there have been times where Transformers has deviated from that, Rescue Bots, for example, but for the most part, that is the core conceit. Good guys versus bad guys. However, the Transformers take on often a mythical style approach. These beings are millions of years old. Not only are they millions of years old, but they are giant mechanical monsters from out of space. And they have the ability to turn their hands into axes, and they have giant fusion cannons, and they can control radio waves, and they can read people's minds, and 6 of them can combine together to form an even bigger monster. And they will battle constantly between each other. But one of the things that's interesting about them is that they are very hard to kill. Why is that? Well, this is a franchise predicated on selling toys. And after the 1986 fiasco with the original movie, where Hasbro sort of got their knuckles burnt, realizing that they can't just off characters willy-nilly, Transformers have been protected an awful lot. It's very difficult to kill a Transformer. Heck, I even remember in the early days of IDW when Simon Furman laid out that the only way to really kill a Transformer in the IDW line is to either destroy their brain module or have their spark taken offline. Doesn't matter what happens, Beast Wars, they get severely damaged, put them in the CR chamber, they're alright. Every single time there is conflict in Daniel Warren Johnson's Skybound book, it feels terrifying. because nobody is safe. There is a body count. There is a much higher body count per 6 issues than I think we've probably ever seen before. But that's because the Autobots and the Decepticons are not invincible. Yes, they can shake off small firearms from the humans, but an RPG or something like that, that's going to do some serious damage, and it does. And what that allows Daniel Warren Johnson to be able to do is to be able to draw direct comparisons between real-world conflict. If anybody were to ask me what this first series is about, it's about survivor's guilt. It's about the people that survive in spite of the fact that all of their friends and their family die. And that's really powerful, and something that we've never had to deal with in Transformers on such a scale. Optimus Prime, we always make the joke, he sacrifices himself constantly. He's died more times than anybody, and he keeps coming back to life. In this one, he keeps trying to do that. He keeps doing things to save other people, because he's desperately trying, I think, to atone for the fact that he's still here. He doesn't want to be here anymore. He's tired. He's exhausted. He only keeps going because he has to protect the other people around him. And then you partner that up with Sparkplug Witwicky, or Sparky as he's known, and this is somebody who has served in the military. This is somebody who has lost soldiers, friends that he served with, and also lost a son. And throughout the course of this story, there is the potential that he's going to lose another son. And so he becomes almost a confidant to Optimus Prime, because there are parallels between the two of them. Now, what I am going to talk a little bit about here is the end of issue 6. So again, if you haven't read this yet, then please, I implore you, go read it before listening to this bit. At the end of issue 6, Spike is in a coma after having been shot following Sparkplug's reckless actions. Sparky couldn't see the difference between Autobots and Decepticons. He just saw Cybertronians as one evil. Spike is caught in the crossfire. Spike is in a coma. Optimus Prime has saved Spike's life on the operating table, and Spike has decided to help deal with the Decepticons. Issue 6, Optimus Prime is dying, just as Sparkplug was. And Prime takes the Matrix out, and rather than somebody catching it, like Hot Rod did in Transformers the movie, it falls to the floor. And Sparkplug sees what's going on around him, and he thinks about his son that he lost in an explosion. He thinks about his son who is dying, and he realizes that Optimus Prime and the Autobots are the only last line of defense against the Decepticons. If Prime were to die, that's going to be the end of it. And he walks into the Matrix. And when I read this in issue 6, I was a little taken aback. I was like, this seems like it's coming out of the blue. But having gone back and reread the first 6 issues, it's a wonderful, wonderful twist to the character. Through mumbo jumbo, it brings Optimus Prime back. The Matrix is restored. Sparkplug has become one with the Matrix. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And you get the sense that he finally achieved what he was after. Sparkplug finally was able to put the gun down. He was finally able to move on. And he was finally able to give somebody else the responsibility of looking after the people that he cares about. And that's beautiful. And it's a real testament to the power of these first 6 issues that you're able to have a story about something. It is about a father's love for his son. It is about Optimus Prime's love for his family, as he calls them. We've had 2 further issues since then, and in those 2 issues we have seen something rather incredible. And this is the thing that has me so stoked for this series moving forward. Optimus Prime is having visions. And what he's seeing is Sparkplug's memory. When we were kids, and I grew up in 1982, when we were kids, Optimus Prime was a dad. He really was. It's why I think so many depictions of Optimus Prime, especially in things like the live-action movie, sort of don't resonate with me. Because there's no compassion and care there. Peter Cullen's performance in the original series was wonderful. And he was this dad figure. You know, a lot of people might say he's like an Abraham Lincoln or some sort of character like that. But I always imagined that he was like a dad. You know, he was another dad. And he had all of his family and he looked after them and he was in charge. And that's different to like other leader characters. You know, you never thought of Lion-O as a dad figure. You never thought of Leonardo as a dad figure because they had Splinter and Jaga respectively. But Optimus Prime was. Prime was the dad figure. And now we're like 40 years into the franchise, and Daniel Warren Johnson has taken this opportunity to literally turn him into dad. He's developing the memories of Spike's father. That's quite powerful because in the preceding 40 years, some of us have lost their dad. That rock, that pillar that was part of your life is gone now. And I don't know if this was entirely intentional by Daniel Warren Johnson or not. I haven't looked into Daniel Warren Johnson's family situation, but I wonder whether or not him literally turning Sparkplug, Optimus Prime, into Spike's dad. And I don't know if that's where this is going, but I have a feeling that's going to be the connection that sort of drives the next few issues. I think it's wonderful. And it sort of just makes me smile because Optimus Prime is a dad. Like, or he could be. He could be. Sorry. Talking about bloody Transformers comic books on the internet. Yeah, it's wonderful. Go read it. Go read it and then get the other issues. I love it. Look, I'm going to end it here. I want to talk more about the Skybound stuff in a future video, and I will. But go check it out. Take care of yourselves, and I'm going to go do something else. Like, thumbs, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Skybound series so far. And take care of yourselves.